Welcome back to Singapore Property Talk Law. Tampines is buzzing right now, so today we're going to dive deep into Parktown Residence, the mega development that everyone's talking about.
I'm Serene, and I'm excited to get past the headlines and
Yeah.
really see what's going on here. Is the hype justified?
You know, we're going to look at a recent YouTube video review by Eric Chi, a Straits Times article that details the launch sales. And of course, we've got that really comprehensive review from Stacked Homes.
Excellent sources.
Really in-depth. The Straits Times, they reported some pretty crazy numbers from that launch weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Over 87%
87.
of the units sold, out of almost 1,200 units,
Wow.
at an average price of $2,360 per square foot.
Yeah, those are some pretty eye-catching figures, Damien.
Definitely eye-catching.
You know, it's a new record for mega projects in Singapore.
Wow.
I mean, everybody's talking about Parktown Residence, and I think for good reason. It's Tampines' very first fully integrated development.
Now, I've heard that term integrated development used a lot.
Right.
But for our listeners who maybe haven't been following the Singapore property scene for so long, could you break down what that actually means? What is an integrated development?
Okay, so basically, imagine like a mini city, right?
Okay.
Everything you need all in one place. So with Parktown Residence, you've got the retail mall, the bus interchange,
Wow.
a community club.
It's like a little village.
Yeah, there's even a hawker center there.
Nice.
And of course, it's all linked to the future Tampines North MRT station on that new Cross Island line.
So convenient.
Super convenient. And they're also incorporating Tampines Boulevard Park into the development. So you've got some green space.
I love that. You get that nature right there.
Right there.
So everything's at your doorstep. No wonder it's attracting so much attention.
Yeah, and I think especially in a city like Singapore where things move so fast,
Right.
people really value that seamless lifestyle, that work-life balance.
Definitely, especially for families.
Especially for families, yeah.
We're always on the go.
Absolutely. And I think we're seeing more and more home buyers, especially those upgrading from HDBs, who are prioritizing convenience and also that sense of community.
Yeah.
And I think Parktown Residence really taps into that.
But before we get too carried away with the hype,
Always good to be a little bit cautious.
our friend Eric Q, in his YouTube review, he brought up some interesting points. For instance, he questioned whether the mall was big enough
Oh, yeah, he did.
to support all those residents.
So he has a point there, Damien. Imagine, right, like close to 1,200 units,
Right.
all trying to go to the same mall
On a Saturday
on
afternoon.
a Saturday. Can you imagine the queues?
I can imagine. So, I mean, shouldn't there be a bigger mall for that many units?
Maybe, but, developers, they have to make these tough choices, right? They have to balance things out.
Right.
A mega mall means less space for the residential units or for those green areas.
Makes sense.
So, and they're trying to appeal to a wide range of buyers, right? Not just those who want to shop till they drop.
True.
It's all about finding that middle ground.
Eric also mentioned the location, Tampines North. I mean, it's not exactly Orchard Road.
It's not Orchard Road, but, distance is relative.
Okay.
With the new Cross Island line, connectivity is going to improve a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, so many companies are moving towards more flexible work arrangement.
Work from home.
Work from home, exactly. So you don't need to be in the CBD every day.
Right.
So for some people, that trade-off, being a bit further out but having a more spacious, family-friendly environment,
Right.
that might be worth it.
Okay, makes sense. Now we should talk about the developers.
Yeah.
You've got UOL Group, Singapore Land, and Capital Land Development, all involved in this project.
Yeah, they're big players.
Big players.
In the Singapore property market.
And I think that really speaks to the project.
Oh, absolutely. I think their involvement definitely adds a certain level of credibility.
Right.
They've got a good track record, so buyers kind of associate their names with quality and reliability.
And they've certainly gotten a vote of confidence from buyers already.
Yeah, those launch sales.
87%
Yeah.
on launch weekend. I mean, that's a pretty strong endorsement
That's huge.
on the market, right?
It's a clear sign that people really want these integrated developments, especially in a mature state like Tampines.
They're willing to pay that premium,
They are, yeah. They see the value in that seamless,
that lifestyle.
yeah, the live work-play lifestyle.
And speaking of premium, I thought it was interesting that Stack Homes pointed out that the 4-bedroom units
Oh, yeah.
were intentionally priced a bit lower
That's a good point.
to attract a broader range of buyers.
Yeah, I mean, it's smart, right?
It's very smart.
It widens the appeal.
Yeah.
It creates a more diverse buyer mix.
Now, to really understand how Parktown Residence stacks up,
Yeah.
we should probably look at some other similar developments.
Yeah, good comparisons.
Stack Homes compared it to North Park Residences and St. Kong Grand Residences.
Yeah, they're both really successful integrated developments.
Right.
They've done really well in terms of price appreciation.
So history's on their side, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, history shows us that these integrated developments, they
Yeah.
tend to hold their value well.
Especially here in Singapore, where land is so scarce.
Absolutely.
What about within Tampines? How does Parktown Residence compare to other condos?
Yeah, well, there is a noticeable price gap between Parktown Residence and the older condos along Tampines Avenue 10.
Okay.
And I think what Stacked Homes pointed out is that you're paying for that integrated development premium.
Okay.
You're paying for that extra convenience and lifestyle.
So, like, you're getting that premium coffee.
Exactly. You're not just getting the regular cup of joe, you're getting the fancy latte.
I like that analogy.
You know, with all the bells and whistles.
Yeah. Now, what about newer integrated developments? So things like Pasir Ris 8 or Sengkang Ground Residences come to mind?
Yeah, that's a good question. Those are good comparisons. I mean, each has its own pluses and minuses, right?
Okay.
So Pasiris 8's almost finished, so if you want to move in soon,
Right.
that's a good option.
Shorter wait?
Shorter wait, yeah. And Sengtang Grand Residences has already gotten its top, so it's ready for you to move in right now.
So many choices.
But you know what Parktown Residence has going for it is it's the first fully integrated development in Tampines.
Ah, so that novelty factor.
Yeah, and I think that could be a big draw for buyers.
Let's talk about the units themselves. I know Stacked Homes went into a lot of detail in their review.
Yeah.
What really stood out to you?
I think what stood out to me was they really emphasized the unit efficiency.
Okay.
Even the smaller units.
Yeah.
They're well designed. They're really maximizing the space, minimizing wasted area.
Which is what you want.
Which is what you want in Singapore.
Where every square foot counts.
Exactly.
You don't want to be paying for dead space.
No, definitely not. And they liked the regular shapes of the units, you know, so it's easier to furnish, to personalize.
Makes it easier to move in.
Yeah, no weird corners or awkward layouts to deal with.
Now, I know they also raved about the facilities.
Oh, yeah, the facilities are amazing.
2 gyms.
2 gyms, which cater to different types of fitness enthusiasts.
Oh, wow.
You know, the serious gym goers and those who just want a light workout.
Okay.
And then you've got multiple function rooms.
Really creating that sense of community.
Absolutely. And a tennis court.
A tennis court.
It's like, you know, they really thought about how to create that holistic living experience for family.
It's not just about the apartment?
It's not just about the apartment. It's about the lifestyle.
Yeah, and they even provided this really cool stack analysis.
Oh, yeah.
Saying that the inwards-facing units might actually have better views and privacy.
Yeah, they really went into the details there, which I thought was great.
But there was one comment that I saw from a user on Stack Homes that brought up a concern.
Okay.
The top date, 2030.
Oh, wait.
7 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That's a significant wait. So buyers really have to consider, you know, that opportunity cost. Like, could they use their capital better in the short term?
Yeah, it's like choosing between a guaranteed return, like a fixed deposit,
Right.
or investing in the stock market.
Higher risk, higher reward.
Yeah, exactly. Higher risk, potentially higher reward.
So do you think that Parktown Residence has the potential for appreciation?
Well, let's dive into that.
Okay.
Well, I think there are a few things working in its favor.
Okay.
First of all, these integrated developments, they're pretty rare in Singapore.
They are, yeah.
They're highly sought after, and that really drives up demand.
It's like a limited edition item.
It's like a limited edition.
Everyone wants it.
Everyone wants it.
Supply and demand, right?
Exactly. Basic economics.
So what else beyond that scarcity is driving that potential for appreciation?
Well, I think Tampines itself is a big factor. It's
Yeah.
already a mature estate, you know, and it's got a large HDB population.
A lot of potential upgrades.
Yeah, and a lot of them are going to be looking to upgrade to private property, and I think Parktown Residence is really well positioned to capture that demand.
They're in the right place at the right time.
Exactly.
But what about long term? I mean, is Tampines going to continue to grow?
I think so, Damien. I mean,
Okay.
Tampines North, it's undergoing a major transformation.
Okay.
So we've got those upcoming GLS sites.
And GLS stands for?
Government land sales.
Okay.
Just for our listeners who aren't familiar with the term.
Thanks for clarifying.
No problem.
Yeah.
So that's going to bring in new residential and commercial development.
More to do in the area.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then you've got the redevelopment of Paya Lebar Air Base, which is going to create, you know, this whole new, like, town of the future. And it's really close to Campines.
So that's going to have a ripple effect.
Definitely going to have a ripple effect.
But we can't forget about the elephant in the room.
The long way.
7 years till caught.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Buyers really need to think about that opportunity cost.
They do.
You know, could they be doing something better with their money right now?
It's a tough question.
It is a tough question.
And I think each buyer has to answer that based on, you know, their own financial situation, their own goals.
What are they looking for?
Exactly.
But wouldn't you say, I mean, for people who are looking at this as a long-term investment,
Mm-hmm.
it could be worth the wait.
I mean, it could be.
Okay.
It has the potential.
Right.
But you always have to remember, you know, there's risk involved.
There's always risk.
Market conditions can change.
Anything could happen.
things happen that you don't expect.
Right.
So it's really important to do your research,
Absolutely.
look at the market, think about your own risk tolerance.
Know what you're getting into.
Exactly.
So we've talked about the height.
Yeah.
We've talked about the price. We've talked about the location.
The potential for appreciation?
Yeah, but I think now we need to step back a little bit
Okay.
and think about what's it actually like to live in an integrated development?
That's a good point. Yeah.
What are those intangible benefits beyond just, having everything at your doorstep?
I think that's really important because sometimes we get so caught up in the numbers.
Right.
The price per square foot,
Yeah, rental yield.
the rental yields, and we forget about the return on lifestyle.
The return on lifestyle, I like that.
Yeah, those things that you can't put on a spreadsheet.
A sense of community,
Yeah.
well-being.
Exactly.
And that feeling of just having everything you need right there. So I think that's something that Parktown Residence,
Yeah.
with the green spaces, with the amenities,
The focus on community.
they're really trying to cater to that.
They are, and I think it's appealing to a growing number of buyers who are prioritizing those things.
It makes sense.
They want that holistic living experience.
Right. It's not just about having a place to sleep.
Exactly. It's about creating a lifestyle.
A place where you can really thrive.
Yeah, a place where you can thrive.
I think that's something that a lot of people are looking for these days.
Yeah, especially with how fast-paced life is.
Especially here.
It can be really stressful, so having that sense of ease, that convenience,
Yeah.
it can make a big difference in your quality of life.
But even with all these positives,
Right.
I think it's important to be realistic.
Absolutely, we can't ignore the downsides.
What are some of the downsides of living in a mega development?
Well, I think construction noise is a big one.
Yeah, that's true.
It's going to be under development for a while.
So those early residents, they're going to have to deal with that.
ER.
Especially if you're working from home. I don't know how you'd get anything done.
Yeah, that's tough.
But those are temporary, right?
I mean, they are temporary.
Eventually it'll be done
Yeah.
and you'll have this amazing place to live.
Yeah, so I think it's about weighing, the short-term pain
Yeah.
versus the potential long-term gain.
So really it boils down to, does Parktown Residence
Mm.
fit into your vision of the future?
Yeah, is this the kind of lifestyle you want?
Does it offer the right balance? In terms of convenience, in terms of lifestyle, in terms of return on investment.
Yeah, that's a question that each of our listeners has to answer for themselves.
And we've given you the information to help you make that decision.
We've given you the insights.
Different perspectives.
The different perspectives.
So now it's up to you.
Now it's up to you to apply that to your own situation.
Do your research.
Check out those sources we mentioned.
Definitely read the Stack Homes review.
Right, Eric Chee's video.
The Straits Times article.
Yeah.
All great resources.
And most importantly, trust your gut.
Absolutely, your intuition, because knowledge is power.
Especially when it comes to real estate.
And if you're still feeling uncertain,
Yeah.
talk to a professional.
Yeah, find a property advisor that you trust.
They can really help you navigate the market.
Absolutely.
So we've reached the end of our deep dive into Parktown Residence.
It's been quite a journey.
It has.
I mean, we've learned so much.
Yeah, about the record-breaking launch.
The potential for appreciation.
Yeah, but it's important to weigh the pros and cons.
Absolutely. You have to be careful.
Don't just follow the hype.
Be a smart investor.
Make your own decisions.
Yeah, and make decisions that are right for you and your goals.
Now, before we wrap up, there's one final thought I want to leave our listeners with.
Okay.
We talk a lot about, return on investment.
Right.
But what about return on lifestyle? Parktown Residence seems to offer a lot of that return on lifestyle.
Yeah, with that integrated lifestyle of green spaces.
And you're raising kids there. They can run around in the park.
Mm.
Walk to schools have access to all those amenities.
It's really about creating a sense of community.
Yeah.
A place where you can really feel at home.
And that emotional connection to a place, I think that could be really powerful.
Oh, absolutely.
It's more than just, bricks and mortar.
It really is, yeah.
But with all these positives, I think we do have to acknowledge some of those potential downsides.
Right, we can't just ignore them.
We talked about the long wait till top.
Yeah.
The opportunity cost. Eric Chee's concerns about the mall.
Those are definitely things to consider.
And then also the potential for noise disruption during that construction phase.
Especially for those early residents.
If you're sensitive to noise, or you've got young children.
Yeah, or if you're trying to work from home.
Yeah, that's got to be tough.
It's not ideal.
But those are temporary inconveniences, right?
I mean, they are.
In the long run, you'll have this amazing place to live.
So it's really about, that trade-off.
Right.
Short-term challenges for long-term gain.
And I think a lot of buyers are willing to make that bet.
Yeah, they're betting on the future of Tampides North.
The appeal in integrated developments.
Yeah, and there's potential for a big reward there.
But ultimately, it's a personal decision.
Yeah, it really is.
It comes down to, your individual needs, your priorities.
Your risk tolerance, too.
Yeah. So does Parktown Residence align with your vision of the future?
Yeah, does it check all those boxes for you?
Do you feel that spark of excitement?
Yeah, does it feel right?
And only you can answer that.
But we've given you the tools.
The information, the insights to help you make that
The
decision.
different perspectives.
So do your research
Explore all the sources that we've talked about.
and trust your instincts.
Yeah.
And if you're still feeling lost, talk to a professional.
Yeah. Find a good property advisor you can trust.
They can help guide you.
Absolutely.
Well, we've reached the end of our deep dive into Parktown Residence.
It's been fun.
It has been a really fascinating journey.
So much to learn.
Data analysis, market insights.
Even some laughs along the way.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Singapore Property Talk Log
Yeah, we hope you've learned something new.
and that you feel more confident in making those property decisions.
The market's always changing.
It is.
So stay informed, stay curious, keep learning.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive
Yeah, we'll find another exciting property
into the world of Singapore real estate.
to explore.
Until then, happy investing, and may all your property dreams come true.
See you next time.